What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 539. And so today I found another one of these graveyards that is incredibly deep. And so it's one of those places that a lot of times we come to the back and end up finding these little hidden corners, hidden trails, all kinds of crazy little things. And so this is actually one of the deepest that I've been to in a long time. It's over a quarter of a mile deep, and you can see how far it is to the road. I'm actually about 3/4 of the way through it, where I am parked right there. And so I thought, let's head to the back here and see if we can find anything, any hidden trails, any graves that are beyond the borders, and who knows exactly what we'll find once again. As we come to the back here, you'll see the last few visible rows and then a lot of space behind it. And right here is what appears to be one of the final memorials in the section, and behind it again looks like the very last. I'm kind of guessing now that it's not going to be the only thing that we find. And already somebody has slowed down to take a look and actually went ahead and pulled into the graveyard. Not sure exactly what these would have been here, but this would have been like just a means of protection at the edge of the road, or if this itself was indeed a headstone. I'm not really sure. You can see that is pretty much the same on the other side. It doesn't look like it ever had any writing. And our friend is getting ever closer and has not gotten out of the car. It seems to be suspiciously just watching me. And you can see him right there. As I said, not really me being paranoid. They're just sitting there and waiting. For no real apparent reason. Pulled in just to see me, and now leaving pretty much within 2 minutes. But at a pace which is pretty much under 5, probably under 2 miles an hour, just cruising basically without hitting the gas, and now they're just sitting at the edge of the graveyard. And here comes another car. So car number 2 is now pulling in. Car number 1 has already left. Interesting. Kind of scattered. Not the most densely populated place I've ever been to. But right down here is something kind of buried, again, like we found a lot recently in these decorative plants. And again, one of the main reasons that I wanted to come back here to the very corners, because often this is where you find stuff exactly like this. And so I'm not sure exactly how old it's really going to be. It does look like it's in the mid 1800s. You can see right there from 1888. Let's see, it's 1821 to 1912. So let's continue on and check out whatever this is right here. And let's see if this second car gets any closer, if they're just legit here to visit. I think I'm seeing something way at the back. It looks like a headstone that's been near buried. Doesn't look like there's anything there. Again, sometimes it's just a little bit suspicious on their parts. And this is one of those cases. Almost immediately had people here that were obviously just pulling in to look at me. But with this particular car, the second car that came in, I'm not really sure if that's the case. So they are still here. They are now completely turned around and once again heading towards the entrance. So kind of strange. Vehicle number 2, excuse me, all in under 10 minutes of being here. And you can see how slowly they're actually moving. They decided to stop literally at the front as soon as they saw me again. And it looks like they might be pulling back in. Yep. So, as you can kind of tell, some interesting people deciding to keep an eye on me for who knows what reason. There they go, once again. Decided didn't want to stop, just doing second loop around. So, very interesting. There they go. So, 2 loops around, 0 stops, all within the first 10 minutes of me being here. I'm not being suspicious, and I'm definitely not being paranoid. So, I think what we have stumbled upon here is another family section that is completely devoid of any remaining memorials. As you can see, it's completely blank behind it, but there is a remnant of the wall, or whatever you would call this barrier here, which oddly, not oddly, but I didn't see it before. This has the name inscribed into the barrier here, but you can tell that it follows on around and eventually would have made a full rectangular section. Not sure exactly how far it goes back. I can see it goes back at least this far, and probably a little bit further actually. So again, kind of sad, but it is very interesting to find though. Wow. So strange the differences you can find even in the same row with memorials that are only a few feet apart. So it does dip down right at the edge again. Not seeing any signs of anything. And it looks like this actually was the original fence line anyway. And wow, look at the size of the thorns on that. That thorn, that one main thorn is actually the size of my entire hand. Look at that. That could literally pierce through my hand very easily. And this tree is covered with them. You see that this is actually suffering from a little bit of erosion damage. It has come off its original base here and slid down about a foot or so. And again, if it's not stopped, it will continue on further and down this hill here. It may end up getting caught in the brush and against a tree, but it probably will continue on a little bit further if nobody does anything to stop it. Kind of an interesting arrangement here. I'm not sure exactly why that's there. It kind of appears to be a sideways base stone and really out of place. It looks like everything here is as it should be, and so the base stone here would seem to just be an extra. Wow. Don't find, or I don't know if I've ever found anything like this. See here, Roy Norman Moon, born in Peru, and then died in the Battle of Savo Bay in 1942, and is actually buried at sea. So this is just a memorial marker here. But I thought that is one incredible story. And I did want to, again, head towards the edge as always, so we can get a good idea. Oh wow. And you can see here hidden is a little tiny marker there, and another one right next to it, which unfortunately is a lot harder to read. It looks like it says the same thing, infant. Again, I'm seeing trails going off into the bush there, but I'm not seeing any signs of headstones. Although, as you can tell, there are many right along the edge, so it doesn't necessarily mean that there's nothing here at all. It goes really deep back there. And things like this here, when I see these like big yucca plants, that's what really makes me think to look behind. But again, it doesn't look like there's anything so far. I might be able to educate a few people out there, especially you explorers out there. And I think I see something coming up here which was recently enacted into law and very important for especially travelers and explorers to know. And it is right up here on this tree. And as far as I know, I'm not sure if this actually exists in any other states. We're currently in Indiana right now. And as you can see, right here on this tree is this purple spray paint mark. And you can see, too, right there, another example of an edge of the fence line. But in Indiana now, and I think it's just this year that it was enacted, a purple spray paint mark on a tree is the exact same thing as a no trespassing sign. So if you're ever in the Midwest and you're hiking through the woods in a public area and suddenly you stumble upon some trees with purple spray paint marks on them, again, as you can see right here, there are several, one right here on this tree, and then next to it on this tree here. And so, even though it says absolutely nothing at all, that is a legally binding no trespassing sign. So, just so you all know, look out when you're out there, especially my fellow explorers, my fellow travelers out there. Be aware of your circumstances and aware of the local laws for sure. And yeah, I don't know about this. This is a very, very large stone. Could be just that itself, or it could be something that's fallen over, and that is the backside of a flat granite stone. It definitely wouldn't be unusual, and we're only about 50 feet or so away, maybe a little bit more, about 70 feet away from these hidden gravestones right over here. Oh, yeah, there's definitely stuff hidden. And I told you, almost every time you can find one thing. And this has fallen, almost fallen down. You can see it's literally teetering on the edge. And down there is actually a decorative item, some flowers, and it's only looking like a headstone. It's actually a styrofoam cross. It sort of makes me wonder what else could have potentially fallen down the hill. I think I'm seeing something else. But again, an incredible find here right at the edge, and something that probably almost no one knows is here. I don't know. That's okay. It looked like that was a round marker, but what it actually is a tree root coming out of the hill. It shows us that we should definitely keep an eye out in this section. Oh, but I have spotted one right here. Wow, I've been finding so many of these recently. How crazy is this? Again, just right here in the brush, no more than 10 feet away from the modern day mowed section of the graveyard. But just sitting here in the brush alongside the historic fence line. So why they aren't mowing up to this fence line right here, as you can plainly tell there with the spray paint. And again, you see it on the tree over here too. I just can't tell why this kind of stuff is happening. Alright everybody, thank you so much for joining me here on this edition of 539. Make sure if you enjoyed to hit that subscribe button, give the episode a big thumbs up, and of course share it on your favorite social media platform. And as always, I will see all of you guys in our next adventure.